Okay, Orland, you're unmuted. Why don't you go for it, please?
Oh, okay, thank you very much. The title of the poem is August the 21st, 2020. On this date in 1971, we stood up together and became as one. We took our vows and started out having no idea what life was about. We have seen and done a whole lot of stuff. Sometimes it was fun and sometimes rough. Now here we are at 49, wondering what has happened to all that time. Ruth is the reason we're still together, because anyone else would have cut the tether. Some say marriage is a two-way street, but I'm here to tell you Ruth is hard to beat. I love her more now than I could conceive. Way back then, I couldn't believe that a tiny spark would grow and grow and fill our lives more than we could know. The passion that welded our hearts together is now a soft, sweet, silken tether that intertwines heart, soul, and mind. And amazingly, I find God's grace and love brought down to me is really Ruth. And so you see, this love will never really end as we go on around the bend into the vast eternity, escaping Earth's corporeal bonds. We'll be holding hands and loving free.
Well, thank you very much, Orland.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
You want to read?
Yes, this is a poem I read, Barbara. I read this poem at Fort Monroe. It was something they were having, I'm not sure, it was like so long ago, but it's called Kimbundu. Kimbundu by myself, Margaret Bristow. Okay, I'm not going to torture you all because it starts with a scream, a real big, loud, mind-boggling scream. I won't do that.
Well, how about if you do a quiet version?
I think you should go for it.
Yep.
Okay. Do you hear me? A scream has no language. Do you hear me? A scream has no language. But after 400 years, I tell you that that scream was in Kimbundu. Kimbundu, the language of the Angolans. I don't know if the ship, me, too weak to walk, that I was carried out of, was the White Lion, the Treasure, or the Batista. But I landed at Old Point Comfort. No comfort to me. No comfort to me. But they found so much comfort in the food I cooked, the clothes I washed, the tobacco I grew, Governor Yardley's house we built, the child I nursed from my bitten breast. Bitten, by then there was no scream. No scream. No scream. No scream. And still a little loud, I say. 400 years have gone by. 244 in slavery and 12 in what you call Reconstruction. That little patch you put on us, although we were hemorrhaging. And we are still healing from those wounds. Wounds so deep, even a black hole in space would pale in comparison. Wounds so deep, there has no poetry or language. There is no poetry or language to really capture our hurt. But we, the ancestors, bless you, clap for you, for trying to give us a voice in that monument Calvin has labored so hard to build, in that education center, which will tell our story. Our story, so multi-layered, so multi-textured, so much taller than the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. And you know what? We hear you, and we thank you. I forgot to say, Kathleen, that was supposed to be the voice of a woman aboard the ship. I forgot to say that. So the scream was coming from this lady who later became, you know, the whole debate, whether or not she became an indentured servant or whether or not she was a slave. But that was the, I forgot to tell you who the persona was.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a very powerful poem, and really something that needs to be continuing to heal, I guess is the best way I'd put it. We need to continue to heal from those wounds.
That was excellent.
Yeah, because in the end, Kathleen, she does say, and you know what? We hear you and we thank you for trying to heal.
Yeah, are you ready now?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Kathleen. And thank you for organizing this lovely reading. And it's great to see people here again. I haven't been to the Poetry Society events for a while. Thank you. And hope to hope too soon. This is called Good Vibrations. It was inspired by the earthquake on August 9th that was actually centered in North Carolina. And on that same morning, the editor of Rattle magazine had suggested, there was a prompt to write a poem based on a line from a favorite song. So I just kind of put those things together, and it's a villanelle with 2 different meters, just to get people to give a sort of an uneasy sense. Good Vibrations, after an earthquake, August 9th, with a line from the Beach Boys. I hear the sound of a gentle word, but in the Carolinas, it's a shout. 5 on the Richter scale, overheard, under our feet, under tree and bird, secluded pasture, marble, tile, and grout. During the sound of that gentle word, feathers and fur also monitored a strange disturbance. Darting in and out, they don't need Richter. They've overheard. And acres of skeletons, disinterred among the bougainvillea strewn about, all hear the sound of a gentle word, over and over. We've long preferred to sing of indignation, pain, and doubt. 9 on the Richter scale. Overheard mutterings say, we have grown absurd. I search along the fault line for a route back to the sound of a gentle word. Richter can't scale what I've overheard. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Claudia. That is the end. So I want to thank everybody.